A protest not just taking place in Cairo, the major port of Alexandria, also seeing demonstrations again today. Alex Crawford is there for us. And what's happening, Alex?
I'm high above on a rooftop overlooking the Gamma Ibrahim Square, which is one of the main, well, it's the main mosque in Alexandria. Have a listen to this. That's them shouting, freedom, freedom. There's about 7,000 people who've gathered outside the main mosque. They've been taking part in midday prayers, listening to a leader, a religious scholar who was banned by Hosni Mubarak because of his opposition to the Mubarak regime. He has been calling on them to, first of all, be peaceful, but saying now is the time. The time is now for Hosni Mubarak to leave. They are now just beginning to move off and start a march through the city. There are lots of Egyptian flags, as you can hear. They're really whipping up into quite an enthusiastic rallying call. There's a general sense that they feel the time is nigh, that this is the end game for Hosni Mubarak. They may be being overly optimistic. I think what is significant here is there are no soldiers in sight at all. There are no tanks, no military vehicles, no jeeps, no nothing. This is 7,000 people gathering in the centre of Alexandria, really feeling at the moment it's very peaceful, but they're angrily calling for change. There's lots of caps flapping. You can hear the sound. There's an awful lot, and I'm way high up above them. There's a determination here and a feeling, certainly talking to some of the protesters, that it's time for Hosni Mubarak to go and this could be the day.
And do you get a sense, though, that if it's not the day, this is far from over, that anger, that determination you describe will carry them forward?
Well, I think they're very determined that they're not going to leave it here. I mean, there were even rumours sweeping the crowd earlier that Hosni Mubarak had fled the country yesterday. I think they believe that really there's a real belief amongst the crowd, whether it's based on any truth or not, we'll have to see. But the army's decision to come out and make a statement yesterday that they were on the side of the people was the turning point, that he was no longer in control of his military forces, and that's the only thing that's keeping him in power. They feel that the longer they carry on doing these protests, the longer they show their disgust and discontent with him, he's going to find it more and more uncomfortable and not going to be able to stay. They're not happy with Omar Suleiman, the man who's been put in as vice president, the man who's been appearing on state television telling the Egyptian people how he's going to be running the country. They're not at all happy with that. And certainly based on the thousands of people who are gathered here, there's a determination that they're going to carry on their daily protest. They're pretty much taking things into their own hands anyway, certainly in Alexandria. They're starting to do the rubbish collection themselves because the local administration has broken down. They're manning and policing their own checkpoints. They're taking the defence into their own hands. There's still a worrying large number of young people who are armed. There's one with a rifle I saw today, where a lad of about 18 years old with a hood over his head carrying a rifle, apparently manning one of the checkpoints. So that is obviously a situation that most people aren't too happy with, because there are so many people who are just arming themselves and taking it upon themselves to be the guardians of the safety in Alexandria. There's clearly a potential for things to go awry, and that's why the presence of the military is used so significantly here. But interestingly, at this big demonstration at the moment, they're not around. There are no soldiers. And I think they believe the military's on their side, and as long as they're on their side, they can push Hosni Mubarak out.